The Indian legal landscape has shifted with a landmark decision by the Supreme Court. No longer can fresh law graduates aspire to don the black robes of a judge immediately. The highest court has reinstated a rule requiring 3 years of legal practice before one can even apply for an entry-level judicial position. This decision marks a significant departure from the norm that had been in place since 2002. This new directive, issued on May 20th, 2025, has sparked intense debate about the ideal qualifications for dispensing justice. It throws a spotlight on the age-old question: what truly prepares a legal mind for the gravity of the judicial office academic prowess or the crucible of real-world experience? For over 2 decades, the Indian judiciary had moved away from mandating practical experience as a prerequisite for aspiring judges. This relaxation, introduced in 2002, opened doors for bright legal minds to enter the judicial system directly after law school. However, the recent Supreme Court verdict signals a return to the earlier emphasis on experience. The court's decision to revert to the 3-year rule wasn't made in a vacuum. It stemmed from growing concerns about the ability of fresh graduates, however academically brilliant, to handle the complexities and nuances of real-life cases. The judiciary, it seems, is now prioritizing time-tested wisdom over youthful enthusiasm. The Supreme Court, in its ruling, has emphasized the paramount importance of practical experience in shaping a well-rounded judge. The court argues that legal knowledge gleaned from textbooks and classrooms, while essential, cannot replace the wisdom gained through active involvement in the legal profession. Exposure to the intricacies of courtroom proceedings, client interactions, and the art of legal strategy are seen as indispensable for developing sound judgment and an understanding of the law's practical application. This hands-on experience, the court believes, is crucial for judges to effectively interpret the law and deliver just verdicts. The Supreme Court has outlined specific ways in which aspiring judges can demonstrate their fulfillment of the 3-year practice requirement. Lawyers who have been actively practicing in courts for the stipulated period can readily meet this criterion. For those who have served as law clerks with judges, the duration of their clerkship will be considered valid practice. Similarly, legal work undertaken in high courts will also count towards fulfilling the experience requirement. This clarity in the court's directive is aimed at ensuring a standardized and transparent evaluation process. While the Supreme Court's ruling has set a new precedent, it recognizes the need for a smooth transition. To that end, it has included a crucial exemption clause. Any judicial recruitment processes that were already underway before the issuance of the judgment on May 20th, 2025 will not be subject to the new 3-year rule. This means that candidates who were already in the process of applying for judicial positions before the cutoff date will not be disadvantaged by the change in requirements. This provision reflects the court's sensitivity to the potential disruptions that the new rule might cause. The Supreme Court's verdict has ignited a passionate debate within legal circles. On one side of the spectrum are those who applaud the move, asserting that it will lead to a more experienced and competent judiciary. They argue that the gravity of judicial responsibilities demands a certain level of maturity and practical understanding that only comes with years of active legal work. Conversely, there are voices of dissent who express concern that the 3-year rule might deter bright and eager young minds from pursuing a career on the bench. They argue that fresh graduates bring with them a zeal for reform, a mastery of contemporary legal developments, and a willingness to embrace change qualities that are equally vital for a dynamic and evolving justice system. Veteran lawyer Advocate Hakim has voiced his strong support for the Supreme Court's decision. Drawing upon his decades of experience in the legal profession, Hakim asserts that the courtroom is a different world altogether, and no amount of theoretical knowledge can substitute for the practical wisdom gained from navigating its complexities. He emphasizes that new judges need to be well versed in the practical aspects of evidence assessment, witness examination, and the art of crafting sound legal arguments, skills that are honed through consistent engagement in real-world cases. To ensure the authenticity of experience, Advan Hakim suggests a system of rigorous background checks and verification of the cases handled by aspiring judges. The Supreme Court's verdict is poised to have far-reaching implications for the Indian judiciary. While the long-term impact remains to be seen, the decision reflects a clear shift towards prioritizing practical experience in the selection of judges. This could potentially lead to a more seasoned and pragmatic judiciary equipped to handle the complexities of India's diverse and evolving legal landscape. However, it is equally crucial to ensure that this emphasis on experience doesn't come at the cost of discouraging fresh perspectives and innovative thinking within the judicial system. Striking a balance between experience and fresh talent will be key to shaping a robust and forward-looking judiciary for the future.